Hey, what's going on, everybody? Adam Levy here from Canton, Connecticut. Welcome to this CTFO event. Glad to be here. It's Tuesday Night Live. We do it every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Just glad you can pop in and learn a little bit more about what's happening with CTFO. We're going to cover a couple of topics tonight, some things that are happening in the company that are really exciting. Tell you what, volume is just going through the roof. What an amazing time it is to be in CTFO. The Xantho Mist is just taking the world by storm. People are ordering this stuff by the 7-pack, and they are reordering this product because it is actually making a huge difference. But again, you'd expect it to make such a great difference since it is delivering over 500 times more of the active ingredient than has ever been available to the public before. And we know for thousands of years, the mangosteen has been used for great benefits. And so, it's just a really amazing timing thing. This is a real big disruptor, folks. And if you haven't figured that out yet, you will. People are going to be figuring it out. And hopefully you're there to tell them, because if you don't tell them, somebody else will. Eventually they'll be twisted and misted by someone else if you don't get to them first. So make sure you're leaving the house with this in your hands at all times. And when you are out in public, don't forget to twist and mist, right? People are going to ask you, what is that? What are you doing there? What's that thing? And you can start conversations. It's a great conversation starter. Also, I want to point out that as you're having events, as you're meeting with people, as you're doing three-ways, for instance, do them via Zoom. It is so much better to do them via Zoom, or we now have the new Verb Live, which we're going to be talking about a little bit. But when people can see this in action, it's unlike anything they've seen before. And so it's automatically going to intrigue them, and they're going to want to try this product. So it's kind of a visual thing. The fact that you mist that in your mouth and there's virtually nothing to swallow is intriguing to folks. The fact that it gets right into the bloodstream, there's really nothing on the market like it. And again, we're just starting with the mangosteen. We're going to be applying that technology, that liposomal nanoemulsion technology, to other nutrients in the future. But this is like 12 products in one right now. So take advantage of the timing of this. You're going to see this volume to continue to explode. We're going to go into different markets. It looks like Mexico is on the horizon. A lot of people very, very excited about that international market that we're hitting next. And that will be sometime June and July, possibly. They don't have an exact date on that, but ask people that who do they know, right? Who do they know in Mexico, right? Who do they know in some of these other places that we're going to be doing business? Do you know anybody that speaks Spanish, right? For instance, share this opportunity with them now. So when we do open up that market, you might have some Spanish speaking folks that can take advantage of that timing. Europe, of course, we're in Europe. We have been for quite some time. We have a warehouse over there. This will be shipping from that warehouse probably within the next 3 or 4 weeks, it's looking like, from what I understand. But we'll know more when we hear more from Kevin Fournier on that on a future Zoom. But just know that this is about to get global on us. And so, you just really want to reach out to as many people and paint the biggest picture you can about where this is headed. Again, a previous company that dealt with mangosteen in a juice form did $2 billion, that's with the B, dollars in sales of a product that you had to pass through digestion. It was heavy to ship. It was twice as expensive for a month's supply, and it was delivering a fraction of the active ingredient that we're getting here in a month's supply of Xantho Mist. So anyway, exciting times. Great to be here. Thanks everybody for joining me. I want to cover a couple of things. The events coming up, as many of you know, a lot of you are traveling, which is exciting. 3 big events, actually 4 events that are happening now. The first one is coming up May 11th, and this one just kind of popped onto the radar. It's actually in Reno, Nevada. on May 11th. And that'll be a business presentation hosted by Stu Finger. Stu lives in Reno. I've been to his house there, and just a great spot that he's not doing it at the house, but he's doing it in Reno, and he's hosting. Steve will be there. Also, Dr. Philip Zinni will be in attendance. He's on many of the videos that you see talking about some of the different products at CTFO. He's part of the advisory board with CTFO as well. It's going to be, there's an address there, but if you need details, look for emails on that. But put that in your notes, Reno, Nevada. The next one after that, of course, is Cromwell, Connecticut. We'll be hosting that with Michael Swilling. That's May 21st. That is going to be an exciting event. Kevin Fournier's coming. Also, David DiArcangelo is coming. Ted Wilson's coming into town. I'm excited to get the chance to hear from the fastest growing team in CTFO. It's going to be really exciting to have him in Connecticut. If you can drive there, if you can fly there, if you can get to it, that's going to be an amazing event. Calgary, Canada on June 2nd and 3rd. I'll be flying out to that also to support Team Unity and Ted Wilson and the gang up there. Looking forward to that event. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that's a 2-day event, the 2nd and the 3rd of June in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And then Dallas, Texas on July 8th. That's the next one. If you can get to that, you'll get to see special guest Dr. Fred Templeman will be in attendance there. He is the foremost authority on mangosteen. There is nobody that knows more about it than he does, and he will be at that event along with other top leaders that will be flying in for it as well. So those are just some of the events that are coming up. This past Super Saturday was really exciting. Got to hear from Dr. Fred Templeman. Now, I want you to know, I took his piece from the Super Saturday and I just isolated it and made a video out of it. It's about 12 minutes long. It's really good. It's on the Biz Builders YouTube page. That's right, we have a YouTube page if you haven't visited that lately, but I've isolated that out so you can send just his portion, which I thought was exceptional. And you can find that. I did post it on Biz Builders also on our Facebook page. So take advantage of that and get that out to as many people as possible. Okay, so I want to cover a couple of things. I'm going to get into the verb a little bit, talk a little bit about that. I think there was a great post from Leah today about testimonies, and I just want to cover that because we're going to need some great testimonies for the upcoming presentations that we're going to be creating that will be able to be used, recordings will be able to be used to share with prospects, and will have attribution associated with them with the new Verb Live. And so I thought maybe Craig could share a few thoughts about testimonies. He's really good at keeping us all compliant, our resident nurse. Would you please join us, Craig, and let us know what's going on with that?
Well, thank you, Adam. Yeah, I thought the post today, if you haven't seen it, go to the CTFO page and pull it up. Maybe Adam, you can post that to our board so that it's available as well. But we're having some fantastic testimonies. I had one myself. A lot of people have read it, but the thing of it is there's still that whole issue of compliance. Anytime that you use medical terminology when you're talking about the benefits of the xantho mist, you're not in compliance with federal and state law. At some point, because we as a company are exploding, we're going to get identified by the Federal Trade Commission as somebody that they need to look at. And the first thing that they do is they go through these personal testimonies and say, oh, you're making medical claims. So in crafting a personal testimony, say, let's go back to losing weight. As you may know, I was the first one to win the CTFO weight loss challenge. And I could say, well, I've had a problem with my weight since I was born. I was actually 10 pounds, 6 ounces, and had issues all my life. but when I started to use Extreme Shake and the Shape and Burn, I lost a gazillion pounds. And now I'm off all my medication. My doctor doesn't know what I'm doing. And each one of those words is a medical terminology that you cannot use. It may be true, it may not be true, but the fact of the matter is when you say things like blood pressure and cardiac issues, these are medical claims. Anything that you can find in a medical dictionary, you need to stay away from. What you need to do is just go to the CTFO website. There's blurbs for every product that we have. Those are compliant statements. Just like we say with the Xanthomist, it's about 12 products in one. Well, if you go to the Xanthomist site, there's a whole list of compliant issues, okay? And so, like it's an antioxidant. Well, what does an antioxidant do? You know, if you use a medical terminology, then you become problematic. So with a personal testimony, the first thing you want to do is make sure that it's short. I've seen some videos that go on for 5 or 6 minutes. How many people are actually going to watch a 5 or 6 minute video testimonial? No. People now turn things off in 10 seconds. It's actually 2.7 seconds. People will make a determination within the first 2.7 seconds of whether to view it or not, because you're constantly scrolling, okay? So keep your personal testimonies to a minute or under. The shorter, the better, right? The other thing that you want to do, of course, as I've said over and over and over again, stay away from medical terminology. Well, you know, you don't say headaches, you know, you don't say anything about your blood pressure. You don't say anything about your blood sugars or your diabetes. Why? Because it's there again, it's a medical term. Oh, I was twisted and misted, and now I don't take any insulin. Bingo. You've just made 4 different medical claims, and it's going to cook the goose. And all of us are going to be sitting there wondering what's happening. And then third, you want to make the descriptions. You talk about your benefit. Well, I sleep better. Okay. So you sleep better. Well, what does that do for you? Oh, I have wonderful skin. I jump up in the morning. I have more energy. I say hello to my wife, and we get a little frisky, whatever. Make sure that you're adding the benefits, okay? Just like with me, with not being able to smell for 23 years, you know, what did I say? Oh, I had a fruit salad and I could taste the different pieces of fruit and the flavors were exploding in my mouth, and they literally were. And I'm having a problem now because I'm coming to Connecticut. I want to be as buff as I can, but I've had this problem where, I mean, food now tastes that I haven't been able to taste in 23 freaking years. Hello?
Great job, Craig. I know that's got to be really tough for you, you know, now that you can smell and taste food better. But after 22 years, boy, that must be nice to enjoy food at a different level than you have been.
Absolutely. Even coffee. I mean, you know, I've been a coffee aficionado since I was like 10 or 11, and I'm now 66 going on 67. And, you know, it's just a new experience. You know, it's something that I can refer to in the back of my mind, but after 23 years, it's like, you know, you just get used to it. Because Adam, you would ask me, well, what's that like? I said, well, you know, you can sense real salty stuff. You know, the wife is using ammonia, or our good old hand gel, you know, it's got a lot of isopropyl alcohol in it. And you go, oh, okay, if I get it real close to my nose, now I can smell it from across the room.
Fantastic. All right. Well, appreciate that, Craig. And yeah, there was a great post by Leah today on that. I'll copy and paste that up over to Biz Builders.
Good.
Appreciate you covering that, though. And yeah, stay in compliance, folks. This is too big. It's too good. Let's not, get risky by saying things that we shouldn't be saying. You know, it does a lot more than we can say that it does, right? And so when you send somebody to Google Xanthones, they're going to find that stuff. So that's the best way to have them discover all the amazing things. Whereas we can say what's basically on our new landing page, which by the way, I'm going to show you right now. If you haven't seen this yet, we all have one of these amazing looking landing pages. And this is just the first of these landing pages, right? So we've got, this one is product focused. Everybody can see my screen, hopefully. And this is brand new. It was just launched a few days ago. If you click here, you get to see the video and people can shop at this page. And then of course, you've got these really well put together and well crafted testimonies that are all in compliance. There's Catherine, who's on our Zoom. Good job, Catherine. You made the website.
That's right.
Good job. And then you can see there's quite a few here. And it scrolls down. You got Templeman and you got Philip Zinni, and then it talks about 500 times more. And again, there's another shop button. And here are the benefits, right? These are the ones that we can talk about. These are the ones that we can say, and are in compliance with our compliant testimonies. So anyway, beautiful landing page. And, again, we'll have another one that's more business focused. So that's something that you'll want to know about as well. And that'll be out shortly. I do want to point out there's a lot of people going to events and getting back to business. People have been asking me about cards. We've got a site up called xanthocards.com. Great to have a business card when you're traveling and when you're meeting other people about the business. And I've got quite a few designs here. Some are product focused, some are opportunity and product focused. And I think that you'll find something that works for you. These are all the fronts. And then there's a couple of backs. These are the backs. I'll point out something about the backs, which I really like. By the way, I just ordered mine. I think I went for this one here. The QR code that you can put on the card, you can actually have that go someplace different than this address. So you can have two basic addresses if you have a QR code on your card, and that is, maybe to your main website and then maybe over to your landing page. Or what I did is I have a domain name, so I put my domain name there and I forwarded that domain name to my link tree, right? Because that way I can control it. If I want to change it, if I want to send it somewhere else, somebody else might send it to their landing page. Their QR code will go here, and then their main web address will be their main website. So that's an option too. I also put together a card that's got a team logo option. There's a lot of teams that are forming in CTFO, and some of them want to have some branding. And so this is Al Diaz has got a team called Go Getters, and he's got the example here on this card where you can have a team logo added to your card if that's something that you want to do. And it could be any team logo. So it doesn't have to be Go Getters. It can be whatever team logo that you want. And then there's also this card here with the 500X. And so those are just a couple of them. So I just wanted to point that out, that those exist. And you can get those at xanthocards.com. Not a bad thing to do when you are out and about traveling and sharing the business with folks. Because when you're twisted and misted, you want to make sure that they can easily get to your website. All right, I did want to talk a little bit about the Verb app and what I'm thinking about as far as how to use it best. And Al, maybe you can pipe in on this. But there's a couple of areas where I think it would be really effective. It could be good for our weekly Zoom, and that may be something I decide to do at some point. But I really see it as a great way to create an opportunity presentation that maybe it is live at first, but it's recorded. And that way, maybe there's a couple of good testimonies on it. Maybe Catherine's on there, maybe Al's on there, a couple of good opportunity testimonies. And then there'll be calls to action in that. And I'll do the presentation. So I'll be helping you present and then close. I'll be pointing to the attributions and saying, look, here's the 7-pack. Click on that now. Get started today, right? Or make sure you set up your smart ship and you put it, and you do this, right? And there's the foundational health pack, right? As an example. And so I'll set up some presentations. I'll try to make them short to the point so that they can be used a little bit more virally. That's one way I see it being used effectively. Another way is to launch someone's business. A lot of people are out doing in-homes, especially the folks up in Canada. They are crushing it right now with doing in-homes. They're new to the business. They haven't told everybody about CTFO yet. When somebody new gets involved, they're doing in-homes. I know Ted's traveling. He's going from place to place to place, and he's crushing it up there doing in-homes, and he's launching people's business. And I think that's an extremely viable way. I think people are really looking forward to getting together, and that's something that you feel comfortable doing. You want to do that, we'll travel, right? I talked to Catherine today about doing an event up in Maine in the very near future. We actually picked a date that we're looking at, and we'll keep you posted on that as that evolves. But what if a new person gets involved and they don't live near you, right? What if a new person gets involved and they have a great warm market, but their people are all over the place? What about setting up a business launch for a new person, right? You do a business launch. I come on live. I show a presentation to your folks. They can be anywhere, right? And again, I can say, click here to order the 7-pack, or click here to, right? And I can point out the different things that we want a brand new person to do as they're, getting started or looking at the business. Number one. Number two, another way in that area is also, what about getting people started? And I think that that's something that the company is going to do a little bit more of. I think Evelyn's going to do some of those where, she's going to start implementing those, links, those attribution links into her presentations, so that when you're getting people started, you can point out, okay, here's this pack, here's where you go for your back office, and you can kind of walk people through this stuff in trainings like that. And again, if you've got the app, and again, this is key, if you yourself have subscribed to the app, then if you send one of these recorded presentations that I have done, or that Evelyn has done, or somebody else has done, as long as you have been invited to their team, we'll talk about that in a minute, you're going to get credit. You're going to get credit when a person clicks on that, even though I'm talking about, and I recorded it earlier and I'm sending them to my website. It's not really going to my website. If they click on it and you had invited them, they're going to go to your website and you're going to get credit for it. So those are the ways I see it kind of being used. And right now I'm thinking about just creating some short presentations that we can start using to kind of duplicate that out and get that out to people. How's everybody feel about that? Pretty good. We got some thumbs up. Al, what are your thoughts? I know you have some other ideas too. Maybe you can share just some thoughts about how you see that being used differently. Big Al, you're muted.
Webinars are very good, especially pre-recorded, because most, not every, like pure example today, we have our team meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody can be here. Somebody has all the stuff and it's recorded. It's the same thing when we do with the presentation. But the most important thing when we do send somebody to a recording video, you have to make sure that you were originally sent Adam your link to somebody to record it, because when they click on that on the screen and you did not send them your personal link for that webinar, it will not be credited to them, Adam. I just want to make sure that people understand that. And when you're going to do a webinar, if Adam's going to do a webinar, a recording webinar tomorrow, and we all want to use that webinar for our future prospects, we need to make sure that Adam sends us the link and we can then send it to everybody, that specific link that Adam sends to us, not one that you created, one Adam sends to us.
Right. So I'm recording the recording, And
Mhm.
you have been invited to my team, right? You're in your back office. You're part of that. Mine's called Biz Builders, right?
Right.
And so as long as you're part of Biz Builders, which you are, because I'll have sent you that invite, and you use the video that I recorded, right? And that's what you're sending out, then you get credit,
Right. Correct.
right? That's the
Correct.
way it works. It's not, you're not
Yeah.
sending me your link. It's
No,
that's not
you're sending it. You're sending us the link that
right.
we for your recording. That's just
Exactly. You
one
got
we
to
have to
use it. You
use.
got to use that link.
Yeah, you have to use that specific link, not any other one link. Very
Well,
very important.
what
But
about
that's
doing reels and things like that? Is there a way that we can do some quickie kind of commercially kind of things like that and have those recorded and just everybody start using those?
we remember reels. You want to do no more than a minute long or
Right,
less,
very short.
30 seconds, and you can do them. And now, for example, I'm doing reels now. Snap, just regular
Yep.
pictures, buying pictures. What you do with this? Just do a video and have the links on it. And when they click on them, they're just going to go right to the order and place the order.
And that
That's
will
what's going
work
to be
on
great about it.
Instagram. I wasn't sure you
Yeah,
could
it'll work on Instagram
work
too.
that way. Okay.
Yeah, remember,
Excellent.
it's anything with reel. Correct.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's gonna
Fantastic.
be good. It's gonna be really
Well,
really good.
I'm really excited about that aspect,
And what's great
adding that
at
layer
mhm,
to what we're
right.
already doing. And I'm also
Hmm.
excited about getting out to, doing live events with real people. I'm
Yeah.
really fired up about that too.
Well,
And I know,
talking about that, Adam,
yeah,
about real people. So let's say that I have 10 people coming to my house, right?
yep.
And I'm going to have a guest speaker doing the presentation. And guess who's going to be the guest speaker? It's going to be Adam on my TV set doing the presentation. And when they look at it, they can click on it. And for example, they order right there on the spot because we already have the link to it. So that's going to be great to have in-house that you don't know how to do a presentation yet. Have somebody else do it for you and have 10 or 15 people there. That's awesome. It's going to be awesome.
So it's like a little combination going on. And then we've done those in the past too, but I think it's
Mhm.
going to be really effective with Xanthomus. I think Xanthomus it's just, people are having fun with this, right? I mean, this
Yeah,
is easy.
yeah, for sure.
And the results, the testimonies are pouring in. People are getting amazing results. And, you're seeing people reorder it, and they're reordering it like in 7 packs because they realize they're going to be using it and sharing it and giving it out. And, it's pretty amazing what's happening with that. So, all right, we're coming up on the bottom of the hour here, and I just want to thank everybody for hopping on. It looks like Ann Solomon has joined us. I'm so glad you got to see us here tonight, Ann. It's great to see you. Jane, always a pleasure. Hilton, thanks for being on. We appreciate you. Cowboy, you got any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the group? You got your hat on too. I gotta let the Twisted Misters say a few words.
Uh, just remember, you guys are blessed to be first. Pick up that phone just so you're the one that talked to them, because we just had one the other day. I called somebody to do a 3-way, and they said on the 3-way, I was going to call you tomorrow, and I did a 3-way today. It's just remember, whoever calls the most gets the most.
Thanks, Cowboy. Appreciate you. And yeah, don't let somebody else call somebody you might know. Get on that first, because it's a sad story when they show up at an event, walking across the stage is a 50K, and you had their phone number and you didn't make the call. Don't let that happen to you. Okay. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for hopping on tonight. We do this live every Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tonight, 9 p.m., of course, on Tuesday nights, www.ctfowebinar.com for the corporate Zoom. Plug into that. Those are always good. They happen Monday nights. Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights. Different topics, of course. Tonight, always usually an opportunity event, and always good. So hop on there as well. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for joining me. Let's get twisted and misted. Bye bye for now.